So obviously I'm outside the London Stadium, the current home of West Ham United Football Club. We've just done a stadium tour, so check that video out after this video. But right now, we're going to explore Upton Park, aka the Boleyn Ground, or what little remains are left, if anything. I think it's now called Upton Gardens. So, tap the like button, subscribe if you're new, and let's go. So this is what Upton Park used to be like. The home of West Ham United from 1904 to 2016. The final capacity before it got demolished was 35,016, and the final game to be played here in 2016 on the 10th of May was against Manchester United, and it's a game in which the Hammers won 3-2. Now, after that game, the Boleyn Ground got demolished, and this is what it looks like now. Basically, flats. Similar to Highbury. I'm not sure if these are luxury apartments. We're in London, so I'm guessing they're pricey. This is what we all know as Upton Park, the Boleyn Ground, the former Boleyn Ground. It's now called Upton Gardens. Now I've heard that there's some kind of memorial garden, which rumour has it there's a piece in the middle which I believe is the centre spot, centre circle or whatever. But I can't get in there. I think it's a gated access for the residents only. So I am going to try and find a way in if possible. Yes, I think it's through there, which we're not going to be able to get into. If we can get in there, we won't be able to get out. So this little road here has been named Ironworks Way because obviously West Ham are the Irons. They were an ironworks factory team originally. Obviously the nickname of the Hammers. Over that end, we're going to finish up, is the famous Green Street. You all know the film with, is it Elijah Burke? Frodo? Was he Frodo in Lord of the Rings? That Green Street. We're going to finish up over there because that, I believe, was the West Stand, the fancy stand that they'd not long renovated before the demolition, which had the famous sort of castle tower type things on the outside, the picture I used in the thumbnail for this video. We've just done obviously the West Ham tour at the London Stadium, and I was really pleased to see that they'd named two of the stands, one the Bobby Moore stand and one the Sir Trevor Brooking stand, because obviously those two West Ham legends were honoured here at Upton Park. So it's nice that they've continued it. So we're on Priory Road we're on. Again, I'm not a Londoner, as you can tell by my farmery accent. So if we do have any Londoners watching this who could help me out, that would be ideal. What's over here? Well, hang on. Yes, I might have found it, guys. It's not a piece of grass, but I believe it's a circular, what is that? Over in the distance, I'm hoping we found something that honours the legacy of West Ham. As I said before, I hate it when a piece of footballing history just gets eradicated. I've not been to the Highbury site, we are going to go there, but I am pleased that they've kind of kept aspects of the original Highbury, and it looks really nicely done. This doesn't look like they've honoured West Ham quite as much. I mean, there's a centrepiece of grass over here. Is that some of the original Boleyn Ground grass? There's nothing that there's no plaques or anything. It's a little bit depressing, actually. Let me know in the comments, guys. Is this some of the original muddy pitch that Bobby Moore, played football on? Yeah, so those weird structures over there are it's just a play area. I thought it would be some kind of monument, statue, West Ham related. This is Shipbuilding Way. Again, I suppose that is paying a little nod to West Ham. You've got Castle Street over there, because obviously originally West Ham kind of merged with, was it Boleyn Castle. Obviously the building on Green Street was kind of, we don't know factually if it was definitely a building in which, it definitely looked like a castle, but a building in which Anne Boleyn owned. Apparently she definitely lived there, and that's how Boleyn, I'm all struggling to know how to say it, Boleyn Castle merged with West Ham, and that is how it became the Boleyn Ground. The Boleyn Ground, the Boleyn Ground. Yeah, absolutely nothing here so far that is pleasing me, if I'm honest. It's kind of heartbreaking actually, and that's for me, who's shouldn't really say it too loudly, a Man United fan, which probably aren't too popular amongst West Ham fans. As you can tell by my strong Mancunian accent, this is the point in which you let me know in the comments below, guys. What a glory hunting. There's an old West Ham badge in the distance. Give me a stick in the comments below about my United loyalties, and let's go and check it out over here. So I did a little bit of research prior to coming here, and obviously you've got the old West Ham badge, which I think we can all agree on is a lot nicer a badge than the current badge, the logo, the brand. I swear this is where the supporters club was. I did see a video where they were really unhappy post move from here about not being consulted about the new badge. I swear that was filmed in there. Is that the old supporters club? Let me know, guys. And where have they moved to? I guess it nearer the London Stadium. Right, thanks to the kind gentleman over there in the high-vis, I asked him, is there anything left here from the old Boleyn Ground? And he did confirm that that grass bit in the middle is indeed the old centre circle. So that's something. This wall here is giving me, I need to give a shout out now, because I've kind of ripped the idea of this video off Footy Adventures, a great YouTuber. I can't remember his actual name, but he did a little exploration of this same ground, but it was a couple of years ago, and since then obviously Upton Gardens has been built. A lot's changed since. Is it Sam from Footy Adventures? Great YouTuber. He's gave me the inspiration for this video, and he was by a lovely wall. I think it was his thumbnail. You lot are probably shaking your heads now and thinking, where are you going? You're nowhere near that painting on the wall. But it is really interesting to see the complete contrast here of the more traditional East End type housing as opposed to the new fancy housing. What's the actual phrase? Gentrification, is that what it's called? I don't like change. Small town mentality and all that. Yeah, so I think that's a complete dead end. But whilst we're walking back up here, Upton Park, prior to obviously disappearing, it underwent, like most football grounds did, off the back of the Taylor report in 1990. They needed to basically turn Upton Park obviously into an all-seater stadium, which the work kind of progressed over the next sort of 5 to 10 years really. Lots of modifications over time. I think was it the Sir Trevor Brooking stand that was the centenary stand to begin with? And then obviously they later renamed it. Obviously the Bobby Moore stand got renamed after his sad passing. So if the shoddy council aren't going to do anything, aren't going to put any statues or plaques up, the good people of the East End are going to put a nice memorial of their own. Fantastic. You've got Bonds and Brooking on the wall, old badge over there. We're going to explore this in a moment. I do need to move the car because I've got half hour and I've got to move it. So I'm going to move the car and come back. So I'm not sure what the name of this road is, but if you look at all the businesses along here, I'm guessing they've changed after West Ham moved away. But even if you look at the chippy, you've kind of got the logo of the chippy that looks a bit like the old West Ham logo. So you've got to think of not just the supporters, but all the local businesses that suffered off the back of West Ham leaving the Boleyn Ground. I can't remember, there was a place here, like a pie and mash place or a jellied eels place. Yeah, so it's just mad to think that all the money that they would have lost. I think up here is the famous Boleyn pub. Pretty sure, yes, because this road here would join onto Green Street, and I believe it's up there. But it's mad. This is what you expect when you know, in the East End of London. This is the kind of atmosphere, the kind of hustle and bustle of what I'd expect, or as what a small town person like myself would expect. Anyway, I did make reference to the fact that I am a United fan, and the history between West Ham and Manchester United right here goes back years. I mentioned in a previous video at the London Stadium tour that my very first full season as a football fan, first Premier League season, was the 94-95 season, and essentially the final game of the season right here for United, West Ham we cost ourselves in reality the Premier League title, and obviously Blackburn won it that season. So West Ham have always been a bit of a thorn in Manchester United's ass. I mean, recently at the London Stadium, obviously West Ham got a win. That wasn't really a shock, but so many games here. I remember I've just recently watched back for the second time the Beckham documentary on Netflix, and again, I made reference to it in the previous video. I did have a bit of a love-hate relationship with West Ham. Now, partly due to the fact that I'm not just a Man United fan for the glory. My dad's a Man United fan, all my friends are Man United fans at school, partly the glory, but the main reason was the fact that I was a massive Beckham fan. And off the back of France '98, obviously getting sent off, the first game of the Premier League season was here, and the West Ham fans gave Beckham just so much stick in that game, and I think that stuck with me. I was so defensive of Beckham. I love the bloke. I think, take it as a compliment that I wasn't the biggest West Ham fan as a kid, because West Ham were always beating Man United, even recently. But more recently, I have come round to West Ham because I am originally from Hereford, born in Hereford, and I would go and watch Hereford United, now Hereford FC, as a kid, and so did your star man, Jarrod Bowen. Obviously Bowen made his start to his footballing career at Hereford FC. I think he lived just outside Hereford in Leominster, but he's a Herefordshire lad like me, and my dad and brother love Bowen because they are massive Hereford FC fans, follow them home and away. I couldn't have picked a busier time to film this video. It's like 5 o'clock rush hour. In the background there you go, you've got the famous Boleyn pub. I might pop in there for a pint, you know. We are off to the Spurs versus Burnley game, and right behind me I wanted some West Ham memorials. I think this was here prior to the Boleyn Ground going, actually. You've got obviously the World Cup heroes when West Ham won the World Cup.
West Ham till I die! I'm West Ham till I die!
If you've watched the film Green Street, you must think I'm absolutely mad. Rush hour, and that right there is Green Street. You've really got to develop somewhat of a thick skin and a carefree attitude when you do YouTube, because I do look like a right pillock. Let's cross the road, let's get down Green Street. I am driving, so I'm going to save my one and only pint for the game later on in the Burnley end. I'm not supporting Tottenham, don't worry. So again, West Ham fans, let me know in the comments below if I'm wrong. This is Green Street, and I think this is the former West Stand, possibly, the one they renovated and redid. If I remember correctly, that's where they had those like towers, those castle things, really nice aesthetic looking stand before it got demolished, of course. And I think, do you know what, like, everyone takes a mick out of Old Trafford's falling down and stuff, but I'd be absolutely gutted if we moved away from Old Trafford. If they did like a Bernabeu type renovation to Old Trafford, I'd probably be on board, but in no way, shape or form would I want Manchester United to move away from St Matt Busby Way, from Old Trafford. So I can understand why the fans of West Ham were so reluctant to leave here, and it took me 23 minutes to get from where I was parked at the Westfield Shopping Centre by the Olympic Park to here, and now it's rush hour. I think it would be a lot longer. I know a lot of Londoners go by public transport, but it's not like it's next door or anything. So yeah, that's Upton Gardens, guys. You know what, guys, Upton Gardens can absolutely do one. Not a fan whatsoever, but I am a fan of Green Street. It's nowhere near as bad. Everyone I spoke to for directions and stuff has been really friendly. They don't know anything about football though. I'm like, where's that mural? That 1904 to 2016 one. The one I was on about, the Footy Adventures saw. Maybe it's not here anymore. Maybe they got rid of that as well. Absolute travesty, guys. This is such a historic place. Wayne Rooney made his England debut here in 2003. It got bombed in 1944 during the latter stages of World War II. There's so much, you could just write a book. There probably is books on Upton Park, on the Boleyn Ground, and hopefully this isn't the end of the video, but I can't see us going anywhere else. I can't see anything. You can tell I've been walking around for ages because it's bloody dark now, and I'm absolutely gutted for West Ham fans, I'll be honest. Probably weren't, you know, my favourite of Premier League teams, by no means rock bottom, but I've got a newfound respect for them, especially after that tour we've just done as well. I can't find that painting on the wall. Maybe they've covered it up with a new one. I'll put a picture on the screen right now. That's what I was looking for. Again, let me know in the comments below where I've gone wrong. But unfortunately, this is the sad state of what was once an iconic stadium. Absolutely kills me to see this. Hopefully when we go and check out Highbury, well, I know it's not going to be as bad. And yeah, credit to West Ham for putting up with it and putting up with that crap new badge as well. Really not a fan of the new badge. If you enjoyed this video and you haven't seen the London Stadium tour, it's going to be right next to you right now. So head over there for part 2 or part 1. This is probably part 2. Or there's my other stadium tours in the bottom right hand corner below. Thanks for watching. I'm about to head off to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium now, so you can check out that video, and I'll see you soon.